So I want to make this quick explanation of a consistent pattern that I noticed not just within me, but a lot of people as well. And before I get into it, I'll tell you a little bit of a background story. I had one of my mate, I'm not gonna say his name, but we went to gym together, and there was like a big difference, a gap that I could live and see through every single second. Now, before I explain what it means, my mentor told me a story. There's a guy named Iman Gadzi. He's like a famous entrepreneur now. He's a 20, 25, 26-year-old millionaire right now. And one thing is when he was younger, he grew up in London. So in London, he was like one of the poorest, surrounded by rich. So he was surrounded around wealth, and every single day he could see the gap, the difference between him being broke and the rich around him. So he lived in a gap every single day, and that forced him to see the difference between where he can be, like where he is now, to where he can be in the future. So what I mean is like I was talking to my mate as well, and he pretty much like every word he like spoke to me was from his map, his perception, and how he viewed the reality of the world. Like everything was from like his lens, traditional culture. It's called NLP, something that I was taught by my mentor. And when we speak through language, we speak from our perception and our lenses. So I noticed one thing that he kept having was a pattern of avoidance and truth. One thing he had bad habits of was lying. He lied a lot, pretty much made up lies. And when you lie, you make like the situation doesn't seem bad as it could. So lying was one of them. Second, he would not seek for help because when he was younger, he was fat and people would mock him. And when people mock him, his best answer was to run away from the truth, run away from the bully. So he would like numb the pain. Okay. And third, yeah, speaking of numbing the pain, he smokes and does drugs. What it does is like it numbs the pain mentally. And when you numb the pain mentally, you're not sitting in the pain to help in a way to use it as a fuel. So the way we humans do change is we use the past, present, and future leverage points to change in a way where we use the pain as a fuel because we got to feel it to heal it, right? So essentially, he wasn't doing all those things. He was avoiding from help, getting help. He was avoiding from the fact that the pain is a good thing. He was a lot like lying, didn't want to sit in the truth that his situation is actually bad, where he think he is now compared to where his goal is. Okay, so those are very much consistent pattern, and not just him, but I noticed with a lot of people as well. My prospects that I talk to on the calls, people that I want to help improve their life, they have those lack of consistent pattern towards themselves to avoid pain and truth. And like Tony Robbins said, that in order to change, humans run away from pain towards pleasure. So the same thing why a lot of people do run away from those type of pain and would rather numb it and because instead of course face against it. I was watching well, I used to watch Stephen Bartlett, the CEO of Diary, and he mentioned one line that I remembered a lot was that there's a test people did where they put them in an empty room. They either can have like zap themselves or sit alone with their empty thoughts. And legit, 90% of the people said they would zap themselves rather than sit alone in their thoughts. So, which is kind of crazy, like how humans, some people react, behave nowadays. So, what I'm essentially getting across is that, yes, I noticed the consistent pattern that's been happening to your life. This can be through the language, how you speak, how you talk, your past behaviors that forced you to the identity that you are now. But in order to change it, you have to attach to a newer identity. So one of the best things I did was I list all the things down that helped me in a way to be better. So I want to be that identity. Like instead of chasing the big main goal, I chase the identity. So who am I as an identity, as the person, in order to make, $1 million per month? So I list out all the traits, the belief, the structures, my day, what I would look like, what I would wear, my hairstyle, my clothes. I know it's the specific you get, the better it is. Because then you understand that it's easy, like it'll be a lot more fun that you can walk into that identity and live that identity every single day. Then once you do that, the world just has to catch up now to the point where you're catching up with like millions of dollars per month. So essentially, what I'm getting across is that yes, of course, the way of achieving goals is noticing the pattern and be open with it. The same reason why he's not seeking for help or he's not getting to his goal, one of my mate, is because of the avoidance in truth. I even asked him, I was like, would you ever be open to receive support? Would you ever be open to have guidance in your life? And he was like, nah, I don't think no one else out there is like me. I'm like, why are you trying to look for someone like you? Like, why are you looking for someone else to look like you or act like you or behave like you? The whole purpose is you want to mimic the successful people in life, right? Everyone who got successful, they mimicked someone to be great. They mimicked and wanted to be like that person. A lot of people did who wanted to be successful. So, but yeah, I just wanted to drop this quick voice note because I think it's really helpful. Because once you start noticing the pattern of people and why they avoid things and why they are stuck and not achieving their goals or their life where they want to be, attack the identity, not the person, like not the what makes them, of course, not happy with their body, how their extra skin is sagging. It's not about that, it's about the identity because a lot of jobs, a lot of offers, a lot of places out there, you help change the person in a level where they are unaligned with. And when you can do that, I'm sure you can make a lot of money as well because that's the power of influence and the influence towards better people, towards change, towards bigger path in life. So, um, other words, it's becoming an influence and helping p millions of people out there. Because if you have of course, consistent pattern, you notice the pain, you notice the truth, you sit in the fuel every single day, you are able to use that as a drive towards becoming the best version of yourself in the end. So, yeah, thanks for listening and take care.